This past week, I sat down like 5 times trying to write out what I was going to say in front of you all. And I would get like a sentence in and then be like, well, that's not perfect. Because I was a lot like my dad. Everything had to be perfect for about 2 seconds. And I really never got all the way through writing it. So I was just going to talk about how this Thanksgiving went when we all went to the farm. We have this we go to my aunt's house every Thanksgiving, and we sat around the table and we talked about these things that he would say constantly, and we called them his Scottisms. He would just, and they were so silly, which was indicative of his personality. Mm-hmm. But, like, he, instead of calling our dog's food, like a normal person would say, he said fud, which is like just the smallest little change, and he did it consistently because my dad was consistent. He was consistently late, he was consistently kind, he was consistently generous, and he was consistently there. And do you want to say anything?
Just to go off of what everyone else has been saying, he was probably the most compassionate man that I had ever known. And while you're probably looking up here right now like, hey, that's a spitting image of Scott. I can say right now, I can only hope to be half the man that he is. And I know that's really cliche, but it's true. I have a friend here who he and I would talk about, he and I are massive nerds, geeks, whatever you want to call it. And he and I would talk about, all the Lantern Corps in the DC universe. And there was one that stuck out that, makes me think about my dad now. And it was the Indigo Lanterns of Compassion. And so, just,
the weird things hit us. Like I realized yesterday that my dad is never going to see the next Infinity War movie, Like he's never going to know, and that's true. That's fair.
No, yeah. Stan is probably telling him all about his next cameo.
Yeah. And like I said, my dad was consistently there, and like everyone's been saying, he had this really great ability of making everything his own, regardless of what it was. He, like a regular word like food, he had that ability of making everything his own, and he made everyone his own. He accepted everyone he met. Everyone. It would take us like 40 minutes to leave the drive-thru because he wanted to talk to the person in the window.
In the drive-thru window.
But he had that weird ability of being able to connect with literally every single person that he met, as you all know, and accepting them as part of his family. And it's so nice to have everyone here, everyone that could make it, as part of his family here celebrating who he was and everything that he did and the kind of guide that he was in life. He had this, I was telling my friend Mary, who couldn't make it today, but he had this really great ability of when he was talking to someone, being able to just pinpoint exactly what they needed to hear, something in their life that they needed guidance on, and saying the exact right words in a very subtle way. Mm-hmm. So it didn't feel like he was telling you what to do, but you still knew what to do, And yeah.
And the truth is, you were going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, I didn't really get around to writing, so I don't have like a clear end. So, 3 more Scottisms.
So, two of my personal favorite Scottisms were whenever it came to the holiday season, to Christmas time. Instead of calling it Christmas, he kind of went the lazy way and called it Christmas.
Yes, yet again, indicative of his personality.
Yes.
The lazy way, cutting out as many consonants as possible, Christmas. And sandwich,
sandwich.
He did that with a lot of words.
And then my other personal favorite was We've got a couple of dogs back at our house, and they're both the sweetest dogs that you could ever meet. And instead of calling them pups, like most normal humans do, you would call them poops.
Yeah. Our big poopies.
Yes. We don't know why.
We never knew why he did anything he did.
But we loved it anyway.
Yeah. So, and like, he always called me his Italian daughter, and I don't know where he got that. I was his Italian daughter, and he gave me a different name than my normal name.
Natalia La Faitha La Bolasini.
Yes. And I don't know what that was, but it was my favorite thing growing up, and I was such a daddy's girl growing up. I don't know where he comes up with these things.
It's fine.
Yeah. And we always called each other Faja and Daja. Mm-hmm. Yet again, dropping as many syllables and consonants and everything as possible in the words. And thank you all for coming.